Hello everyone, this is NEI 500 at PDAC 2023. Today is the third day and it is my pleasure to be here with Aneel, who is from Steppe Gold Limited. Hi Aneel, it's good to see you here today.
Good to see you as well.
So could you give us a quick introduction of your company?
Sure. So Steppe Gold is a gold and silver producer in Mongolia. We're listed on the main board of the Toronto Stock Exchange. We listed our company in May 2018, raising $25 million. The only main board mining IPO in 2018. Since then, we actually built our first mine. It's a heap leach operation, currently in commercial and profitable production. We were brought online in April 2020, and now we're expanding into our sulfides over the next 2 years. So the next 2 years, we'll produce from our oxide mine about 45 to 50,000 ounces, about $850 all in cost. And in 2025, we'll be a 100,000 plus ounce producer with a 12-year life of mine behind that at about $850 all in cost.
Great. So let's talk a little bit more about your ATO Gold and Silver project. What are some main challenges that you faced in the past and what's the growth potential now?
Sure. So I'll stick to the growth first. The growth potential, when we bought the asset from Centerra, it was about 1.2 million ounces on a resource, inclusive of 210,000 ounces of reserves. Today, we're at almost 2.5 million ounces of resources, inclusive of 1.7 million ounces of reserves on a gold equivalent basis. So we've, through the drill bit, with, I would say, not minimal work, but very little work, we've been able to grow the deposit at depth, and we're still only down to 350 to 400 meters across 4 deposits. So there's still an opportunity to continue to grow this project at depth. We believe that ATO will become a 15 to 20 year mine life by the time it comes on in 2 years.
Sounds exciting. So let's talk about another exciting news. We know that your company recently is planning to pursue a dual listing of common shares in Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. What is the significance and how does this expand your market exposure?
Yeah, exactly. So we are an Asian producer. In Hong Kong, there'll be a dual primary listing. So we'll remain listed in Toronto. We are one of hundreds of companies in Toronto. In Hong Kong, on Hong Kong Exchange, we'll be one of a handful. So from visibility, we'll be one of only 7 or 8 producers. So and we're an Asian producer. So I think we'll get a lot more visibility, liquidity, and the valuations are higher. Also, we have about 40% of our shareholders in Asia. So it makes a lot of sense being in Asia as a producer, and that's a premier exchange that allows more Asian investors to participate, not only mainland China, but within the region.
I see. So in terms of ESG, which is a big thing going on within the industry, how do you integrate such factors into your operations?
Yeah, listen, ESG has been, the topical for a few years now. That's something that not a requirement for our company. It's something that was already ingrained when we built this company. So in 2017, when we acquired our first assets, we already started with ESG in mind. That's how we run a business. That's how any miner should run their business anyways. We're proactively already checkboxing all the stuff in ESG. So it's not a requirement from investors anymore. If you run a mining company properly, in whatever jurisdiction you are, you have to check those boxes. So that's something you have to do before you build, and while you're building, and while you're producing. And that's what we did. So we went around to our locals, told them who we are, what we're going to do, how they can benefit. We've set up a meat and dairy co-op, part of the Billion Tree Initiative, planting initiative. So we've done all those things without anyone requiring us to do so.
That's great. So are there any upcoming milestones that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so actually just yesterday, we announced an acquisition of another deposit, another mine in Peru. So now that makes Steppe almost 5 million ounce company, diversifies our company from not being just a Mongolia focused. We're now a diversified global producer. A lot of investors like diversified, multi-jurisdiction assets, and that's what we're providing. It's 2.5 million ounces. We bought it for $21 million in shares. It's actually cheaper than we bought ATO Project for originally in 2017. It's very similar to what we have in Mongolia. It's an oxide deposit with a large sulfide endowment below. And that's something we'll build once we finish our expansion in Mongolia. So it's a nice add-on for very cheap before I think the market really moves.
Amazing. So my last question for you is, how do you stand out from your peers?
Sure. So I think first and foremost is we built our mine. So many of our peers never get to the stage of building an asset and bring it online successfully. So we bought an asset, we built it, and it's producing. So we are a producer. So that sets us apart from 90% of the companies out there. Second is we're very local. We consider ourselves today a Mongolian company listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So 99% of our employees are Mongolian, our CEO is Mongolian, half our board are Mongolian. So we're very local, and that's how you should do business in any jurisdiction, not just Mongolia. So I think that doing what you say you'll do and having that local component is what sets us apart.
Wonderful. So that's all my questions for you today. Thank you so much for being here with me, Aneel.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.